Hello, Steve Kendall, Secured Pacific Real Estate, Richmond, California. Today, I would like to talk about the paradox of life. Some of the most important truths in life are contradictory on the surface, but when you begin to look deeper beneath the surface of the contradictions are where the real grains of wisdom appear. Such is the nature of a paradox. So what is a paradox? Well, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a paradox is a statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense, and yet is perhaps true. Now, I've always found paradoxes in life to be fascinating, and I've gathered some for you to consider. Number one, the more choices we have, the more paralyzed we become to make a choice. When was the last time you went to a restaurant and you were handed a menu with a long list of choices that you could order? Now, I don't know about you, but I agonize over what to order. When we're faced with a multitude of choices, we often become confused and unable to make a decision. Number two, words are spoken by the listener. After carefully explaining something, most of us assume that others understand us perfectly. The truth is, words are symbolic, complex, and sometimes arbitrary forms of communication. Each of us have different definitions based upon our personal experience and associations with each word that we hear. You may provide the words, but the listener provides the definitions. Number three, we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone. Has your water heater ever failed? It's so nice to have hot water for a shower, but without the water heater working, you realize just how much you appreciate having a working hot water heater. The same can be said about your health, relationships, money, family, friends, and so on. I think it's important to be grateful for what you do have. It helps you remain more appreciative, and it opens you up to receiving more. Number four, the more you multitask, the less you get done. Research has shown that the human ability to multitask is non-existent. Even with all the time-saving devices available to help us be more productive, our brains can only focus on one thing at a time. A perfect example of this is driving and texting. People think they can do it, but it is a dangerous gamble. Number five, you get what you give. Have you ever noticed how generous people are always being helped out by others? Generous people put out an energy that other generous people pick up on. Same can be said for people who only think of themselves. Selfish behavior repels generosity. Number six, the more you try to control a situation, the less control you have. When you attempt to control an event or situation, you will find that no matter how hard you try, you cannot control everything. Most things in life are uncontrollable, and the harder we try, the more frustrated we become. But the only thing we can control is ourselves. Number seven, the longer you sleep, the more tired you are when you wake up. You ever had a night of 6 hours of sleep and feel great the next morning? And then another time, you sleep for 9 hours and you still feel tired. This is a common problem with people who don't get enough rest during the week and then try to make up for it on the weekend. This relates to your circadian rhythm, which when off will cause this disruption in your normal resting patterns. Number eight, people who talk too much, say the least. I'm sure you've been at a party or a meeting or a gathering where someone just goes on and on and on, and yet has little to say. Those who talk incessantly usually say very little because their content is usually devoid of any substance. Then There are those who have so much to say, and yet they say so little. Those are the ones I want to hear more from. And then finally, number 9, the pursuit of happiness makes you unhappy. Happiness can never be pursued. It's like a dog chasing a tail. The more you chase, the more it eludes you. Happiness is usually a byproduct of another activity, usually one that brings meaning or joy to our lives. Now, I hope you've enjoyed these. And if you come up with one that I've forgotten, I hope you'll share it with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.